from everybody. Why is that?
I pay a lot of people a lot of money.
Do you pay a lot? I mean, is it like, I mean, it can't be an act. You can't put this on all the time. I mean, the bad always shines through sometimes and you see the real, person. But like every time I hear David Tennant, I hear, oh my God, I love him. He's great. He's so sweet.
Oh.
Is it, do you think that's from growing up? It was your environment that you were in, or how you were raised that has an influence on that?
Do you know, I'm probably not the person to ask, am I? Because whilst I'm thrilled to hear these things, I also get a little bit nervous and shy at any sense of being praised in that way. It feels almost like hubris to acknowledge that it might be true. So
right.
I don't know. It makes me a little bashful, Michael.
Really?
Yeah.
But the question really is when you raised, your father was a minister.
He was a minister in the church. That's right. Yeah.
Do you think you were heavily influenced by that? I mean, are you a religious person, or can you just shout out proverbs and shit like that?
I had a religious phase as a teenager, but it's not something I am now. But I definitely was brought up. I think my dad was one of the good Christians, because sometimes these are ideologies that can be made to stand for a lot of stuff that I don't see in any version of the Bible that I recognize. So he was very much, he lived, he was a good human. He was a good man, and he was very self-effacing and very true to what he believed the things that he taught meant. And I certainly feel like, I hope that I inherited some of his morality, because it was to be cherished for sure.
Yeah. Do you think like his work ethic, that you saw how hard he worked and how much he achieved, that it kind of bounced off on you?
Yeah, that is probably something that he was. It was always to be admired about him. Yeah, he was a grafter for sure.
I mean, growing up, did you really watch Doctor Who when you were like just a kid?
I did.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, the chances of that being something that then was repeated in adulthood are vanishingly small. It feels like I won a lottery ticket there. Yeah.
Were you nervous when you were then on Doctor Who, when you were filming and you're going, and this is crazy? Of
course, because it was like it for a long time. It felt like an out of body experience. The whole being on set with the props that I had fetishized as a child. I mean, I had TARDISes all over my bedroom. I had pictures of the Doctor on my wall. I dreamt of having that, playing on that console. So to finally have it and to have some sort of ownership of it, it was very surreal. Yeah. But the show was being run by someone who was in the same boat. Russell T Davies, who's now back running Doctor Who again. He grew up as a fan of the show, because of course it's been on since 1963. I was born in 71, and it was part of certainly the UK primetime TV schedule for all the years that I was growing up. It was a big part of the cultural furniture in this country. And I know it went around the world, but it was a bit harder to find perhaps in the US and other places around the world. Here it was primetime. It was a huge show. So I was one of many fans that grew up with it, and many fans who now work on the show as adults and who were inspired to go into that kind of creative industry as a result of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like if I was a big fan of something, like for instance, if I was a huge Superman fan, just a diehard, and then I was Lex Luthor, which,
I mean, blow your mind. How big a fan were you?
I wasn't at all. But what I'm saying is, no, okay. I watched the Superman movies. I'm looking at a Gene Hackman autograph poster.
Oh, but come on.
Pretty cool. I just wasn't, I was a horror movie fan growing up because of my mom. Okay. She always made me watch horror movies with her. But I guess what I'm thinking is, was it weird to then be in this role after watching it? And was it hard for you to watch yourself? Or was it hard to be a fan still while you were on the show?
Yeah, it moves. You're not you move from being a fan to something else because you're sort of too close to it. It doesn't mean you don't have an enthusiasm and a joy for it. That has
Sure.
never died.
Yeah.
And that's still there. But yeah, it's odd and it's surreal, and yet it feels oddly right. It feels oddly inevitable. And it's like everything you kind of the 8-year-old self in you.
Yeah.
The 30 whatever I was, the 36-year-old self, which is I think of the age I was when I did it, is going, what? This is impossible. This can't be happening. This isn't real. The 8-year-old self, which lives within all of us still very vividly, the 8-year-old self is going, yep, that's right. This is where we were always headed. And now we've arrived.
That's a beautiful thing to be able to connect those. You know, that's what keeps us going. The inner child, it has to come out. You have to embrace it. I think when you lose that, that's when you kind of fade a little bit. Like you get away from, you know, your dreams and your hopes and when those things come together, it's pretty